Brucella is a zoonotic that is most associated with cattle and other farm animals. So we set this scene to take place on a farm that we've called Bruce Farms. Okay, let's start drawing this simple scene. We have a red barn house back here that says Bruce Farms. We made it red to help you remember that Brucella is a gram-negative bacteria. Or did we make it red because barns are always red? I don't remember. Oh well, Brucella is gram-negative. As I mentioned earlier, the reservoir for Brucella is farm animals, which includes cows, sheep, goats, and pigs. So let's draw a cow and a pig here to help you remember farm animals. Now, there really are separate Brucella species for cows, pigs, and goats, but we didn't include them because, well, we never really found them terribly important. We have drawn this pig here to help remind you that it grows in various farm animals, but feel free to learn the different species found in each animal. For example, the cow is a reservoir for Brucella abortus. On your exam, a patient who is infected with Brucella will usually have either direct contact with farm animals, like a veterinarian, slaughterhouse worker, or a rancher. Is that even a term anymore? Rancher? I don't know. I'll go with it. Or the other presentation would be indirect contact with these animals via recent consumption of milk or cheese products. To help you remember this association, we'll draw a milk bucket here on the ground, which has clearly yet to be pasteurized. Another characteristic of Brucella that you should keep in mind is that it's facultative intracellular. This means that they can live either intracellularly or extracellularly, and they're able to survive and multiply inside cells such as macrophages by preventing phagolysosome fusion. To help you remember this, we'll draw an open gate in front of the barn house. This cow is able to walk in and out of the caged area, so it's like a facultative intracellular organism that can live inside or outside of host cells. Now that we know the basic features of Brucella and how it's transmitted, let's jump into some of the symptoms of brucellosis. Primary symptoms of Brucella are nonspecific. It's characterized by fever, chills, and anorexia. To help you remember this general picture, we're going to draw a farmer here. He's going to be sunburned and sweating here in the hot sun to remind you of fever, and we've also made him anorexic looking. In some patients, the fever pattern rises and falls. This is referred to as undulant fever because it undulates. To represent undulant fever, we're going to draw some undulating hills in the background. This kind of reminds me a lot of the hills around my hometown in Northern California. So one of the reasons it's important to remember that Brucella is facultative intracellular is that its ability to survive in macrophages makes it especially apt to travel to multiple organs throughout the reticuloendothelial system. It can then replicate intracellularly to the point of causing host cell lysis and then spread systemically. Because of its ability to spread to reticuloendothelial organs, it causes enlargement of these organs, which include spleen, liver, and lymph nodes. To help you remember the involvement of these organs, let's use the spots on our cow here. We're going to make a large spot here shaped like a liver, and another one back here that looks like a spleen. The liver is on the patient's right and the spleen is on the patient's left, just as it appears in the drawing. Another possible complication of brucellosis is osteomyelitis, and generally this occurs in chronic Brucella infection. To help you remember this, we're going to use our recurring osteomyelitis symbol, fish bones. Let's have our farmer feed this pig with leftovers that has some fish bones in it. Finally, let's finish this up with the treatment of brucellosis. For your exam, you should keep tetracyclines in mind, such as doxycycline. To fit this into the story, we're going to create a windmill, but have the spinny part look like a bicycle wheel, our recurring symbol for doxycycline. However, you'd rarely just use doxycycline alone for brucellosis. Rifampin is commonly used as adjunctive therapy. So to remember the addition of rifampin, we'll give our farmer a rifle. But remember in this drawing, the farmer is the ill person. So as opposed to the Neisseria meningitidis or Haemophilus drawing where rifampin rifle was for the contacts, in this story, rifampin is for primary treatment. And that's why it's on our person who has fever and anorexia. I definitely don't want our drawings to confuse you. Okay, well that's it for Brucella. Short and sweet.